Good morning. Today we're playing the Pokemon TCG, and I'm gonna be looking into the Team Rocket Spidops deck. A lot of people call this Team Rocket's Mewtwo, but Spidops is the real player here. I'll show you why. First of all, Spidops is a one-price Pokemon that can hit for pretty good numbers. It has the charging up ability. Once during your turn, you may attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon. That means that as soon as you have energy in your discard pile, you are ready to go with this Pokemon at any time. You can power it up in one turn, and you can use the Rocket Rush to do 30 damage for each of your Team Rocket's Pokemon in play. With a full bench of 5 and your Spidops in the active, that's 180 damage total. This doesn't seem like much, but a lot of the very big beefy Pokemon in the format right now have a grass weakness, so you can exploit that with this little guy. If you ever do come across a Pokemon that just has too much HP, you can use Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX. It is a 2-pricer, so use it sparingly. And it also has the ability Power Saver. This Pokemon cannot attack unless you have 4 or more Team Rocket's Pokemon in play, so you need a lot of resources to set this one up. Most of the time, I will be setting up my Mewtwo with a Spidops. I can use the Spidops ability to attach an energy to my Spidops, use an E-switch to put it over to my Mewtwo, and then attach a Team Rocket's energy to the Mewtwo so that it's finally able to attack. Team Rocket's energy counts for 2 energy total in any combination of Psychic and Dark. That's all we need for Mewtwo to attack. Mewtwo does 160 damage, and you may discard up to 2 energy from your benched Pokemon. This attack does 60 more damage for each card you discarded this way. This is why Spidops and Mewtwo work together so well, because you can keep attaching energy to your Spidops on the bench, you can delete them with Erasure Ball, and then do a total of 280 damage to your opponent's Pokemon. The reason I wanted to look at this Team Rocket Spidops deck today is because just a couple weeks ago I took it to a tiny tournament in my local game store, and I managed to win that tournament going undefeated. I think this deck is super strong, especially in this format where everyone is trying after rotation to figure out what they want to play again. Some of the big players have gone. We no longer have Gardevoir, we no longer have Goldengo. I think this deck is really gonna thrive if you just know how to play it. One more fun thing that this deck has is the Team Rocket's Articuno. The Team Rocket's Articuno basically stops any Alakazam in its track. Alakazam has the attack that does damage counters on your active Pokemon. Damage counters is an effect of an attack, which means that it will not go through on your basic Team Rocket's Pokemon. It's a really fun counter to a pretty strong deck in the current meta. Then we also got the Team Rocket's Wobbuffet. You may move all damage counters from one of your bench Team Rocket's Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. You could use the Team Rocket's Wobbuffet with the Team Rocket's energy to charge it up in one turn, ready to go. You can heal up your Team Rocket's Mewtwo on your bench, start hitting for big numbers with this tiny 1-pricer guy. Then we also have Team Rocket's Mimikyu. This is one that you want to have on your board because it has a free retreat cost. Any Pokemon with a free retreat cost is gonna help you, even if it's only you put it in an active spot. You give yourself some time to think about what your attacker is going to be for that turn. Allow yourself to draw your card for turn first before you make that decision. You can free retreat out of it anytime you want. And in combination with the Team Rocket's Giovanni, that's actually super strong because Giovanni is a boss's order, but it's a little bit more complicated than that because you also have to move your own active Pokemon to the bench in order to use this card. So if you already have your setup attacker on your active spot and you want to use Team Rocket's Giovanni, Mimikyu is a really good way to pivot out of the active spot again and start attacking. Then we have some other really important cards in this deck. Of course, Team Rocket's Factory. Every time you play a Team Rocket supporter, you're allowed to take 2 more extra cards from your deck. For the most part, we're only playing Team Rocket supporter, so your Team Rocket's Factory will almost always be in play for you. Then what we are also playing 4 copies of is Team Rocket's Ariana. This is the card that makes you want to play out your entire hand. She will fill it up back to 8 cards if you only have Team Rocket's Pokemon in play. She is one of the reasons why we don't play Lily's Clefairy in our deck. We do also not play Lily, so Ariana is even more important in getting our hand filled back up. Then we play one sort of weird combination to make up for unfavorable matchups. That's the Black Belt's training. During this turn, attacks used by your Pokemon do 40 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX. We play this because the Spidops only does 180 damage, and sometimes that's not enough. To help this, we also play the Brave Bengal. If the Pokemon this card is attached to does not have a rule box, the attacks it uses do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX. This means that with a Spidops with a Brave Bengal on it, it will always hit 210 damage damage, which is more than enough for a lot of the EX we currently see in play. I think that's all for this decklist overview. I think we can jump into a game. Let's go. So what we want to try to do in our first turn is set up as quickly as possible. We want to get our spiders down. We want to get either an energy already attached to one of our spiders, or we want to put it into the discard pile so that we can attach it later with a Spidops. It would be really great if our opening hand contains a Mimikyu. We wanted to go first, so this is not ideal, but I'm sure we can figure something out. And there's the Tarountula. In this case, we could choose to put the Articuno in the active, but since the Tarountula itself also has the takedown ability to do 30 damage, it's pretty good to be in the active spot. Especially because we go second, and sometimes people put Badoo in their active spot to try and item lock us on the next turn. We can take that out before we ever get item locked. Luckily, we do have Team Rocket's Transceiver in our hand, so we will try to find a Proton and just fill up our bench. We're gonna get a Mimikyu in there, just so that we can pivot easily. Because we played Proton, we can now use our factory to get 2 more cards. I guess what we could do is we could play Giovanni to get our Mimikyu in the active. And I only do this because then my Team Rocket's factory will be active. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get 2 more extra cards. We can get some Spidops going. We can attach an energy to one of our Spidops. I'll just put down my other Mimikyu and I'll get an Ariana for the next turn. So I could technically attack this turn. That might be more valuable than making my hand size bigger with Ariana. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my Giovanni. I'm gonna put my Spidops in the active that already has an energy on it. I'm gonna take their Soul Rock. I think I'll like to attack that one. Right now with the grass weakness, this guy will actually do 300 damage to the active Soul Rock. Oh, we got a secret box for the next turn if we wanted. We could technically also use it now, but I see no reason to. So I'm just gonna leave it like this and attack with the Rocket Rush, getting rid of their Soul Rock. It's gonna get me 1 prize card. They might be able to hit back now, but we don't really care about that because that just means they're going to put 2 of those energies in the discard pile for us, which means that our Spidops ability is finally live and we can start charging it up through the energies that are in the discard. So we're not too mad about that. Oh, it seems like they don't have anything. I want to charge up for the next couple rounds. I could get rid of the second Ariana, I guess. I want a bug catching set to try and see if I can get an extra energy. I could scare them and get Giovanni for the next turn. No energy? Well, that's too bad. So this is how it often goes with the bug catching set, honestly. But it could really help you out if you don't have your basic spiders in play yet. So it could be really good. It's just unfortunate that it doesn't always work out. I'm just gonna fill my hand a little bit. I'll do 150 damage. More than enough. Are they gonna try to set up another Soul Rock Lunatone situation? I guess they are. It's a Soul Rock Lunatone Cerulege deck. I'm not sure if I talked about it, but with Super Rod being gone since post-rotation, we don't have a lot of options of getting our Pokemon back from the discard pile. I have 3 of those options in my hand right now, which are Night Stretchers. You can take 1 energy or 1 Pokemon out of your discard pile with the Night Stretcher. The other thing we have is we have Secret Ash. It allows us to take up to 5 Pokemon, shuffle them back into the deck. Is he really gonna attack my Mimikyu? That's so funny. Okay, so Mimikyu is so funny against Terra Pokemon because you can use one of your active Terra Pokemon attacks, use it as this attack, which would be super funny because Cerulege has an attack that does 280. Put a Rocket's energy here. Get 2 more cards. Pretty nice. And then I can just do 280 damage. It does force me to get rid of my Team Rocket's energy, and it did have a Legacy energy under it, so I only get 1 prize card instead. This is my first time recording gameplay, so I am gonna say some things that makes no sense. I might cut it in edit and make myself look a little bit smarter. We'll see. So my opponent hasn't really been able to do a lot. What I could also potentially try to do is get rid of that Cerulege on their bench. That would really annoy them because that's the attacker that they're trying to set up. Since they only have one on their bench, they might actually rage quit if I do that. So I'm gonna put my Mimikyu in the active so that I can use Giovanni to switch out our active Pokemon. I'll put down another Spider, get 2 more cards I guess, just because I can. Finally another energy. I'll attach an energy to one of the Spidops on my bench and then I'll attack. Unless they have something up their sleeve that I'm not expecting, we just dragged out this game a little bit. Ah yeah, they gave up. They also don't see their win condition. Well, that was my first recorded match. I hope you enjoy watching it and I hope you found my commentary useful. See you next time. Bye bye.